Building up inventory. That is a topic that I talk about a lot, and many booksellers and other types of FBA sellers talk about as well. It is really important to build up your inventory because the more you have an inventory, the more you can sell, period. However, there has to be a balance between building up inventory and getting better at sourcing. And by getting better at sourcing, I mean finding products that are going to sell for a profit. Finding products that are going to sell at some point for a profit, hopefully sooner than later. I think I'm leaning more towards the quicker selling items than longer tail items. Not that I'm saying that I'm not going to do long tail, or you shouldn't do long tail books or other types of items, but you have to really take a look, or I have to really take a look at these long tails, because I want to make sure that they're going to make money. There's going to be a nice enough profit there that it's worth sitting in my inventory for 6 to 12 months or longer, hopefully not longer than a year. So I'm thinking long tail is more 6 to 12 months instead of longer than that. If an item sits longer than a year and ends up selling for over $30, then it's still going to be a nice profit, assuming that I didn't spend that much money on it. But I'm trying to, and I am getting better at sourcing, focusing more on products that I'm really confident are going to sell. That if an item's going to sit there for 6 months, it's going to be an item that's selling for a little bit more than 10 bucks, hopefully 15 to 20 bucks, or more than 20 bucks. But the ones that are going to sell within 3 months, it's okay if they're selling for around $10 to $15, because it's still going to be a nice profit, because it only costs me 1 to 2 pennies a month to store it. Therefore, it makes sense to me to get lean and mean, and I've mentioned this before, so that you have a good mixture of books that sell quicker for profit, but not as much profit. I mean, if you can sell a book for great profit quick, then absolutely that's the ideal situation. For books that go for 20 and over and you can sell them within the first 3 months, that's awesome. And if you can find those books consistently, then great. Or other items consistently, CDs, VHS tapes, then that's what everybody wants. But for me, for what I find, I do find some of those, but by and large, the ones that are going to get $20 and more are probably going to take more than 3 months to sell. Definitely the ones that are going for $50 or more, unless it's something that is kind of rare. When I come across stuff that goes for over 50 bucks, if it's more for school or something really specialty, a niche type of book or other item, then that's different. But by and large, that's sort of how they're going to fall. I want to build my inventory. I want my inventory number to grow, but at the same time, I want to sell my inventory. I don't want it to sit too long. So it's got to be a balance. If I only had 500 in inventory, well, either I've hardly sent anything in, or what I'm sending in is selling really quickly. And I'm talking about for media now, not for retail or that type of stuff. Because of the lower profits, they send in items that are going to sell quicker. So for media, for books, as well as CDs, as well as VHS tapes, and also vinyl, these are types of inventory that you need to build up, because some of that stuff is going to take a little bit longer to sell. But at the same time, having 5,000 in inventory, but having 2,000 of those that are going to take 6 months to a year, or a lot of them over a year to sell, unless they're selling for great money, you figured out which ones are really going to go for great money but just take a little bit longer. That's harder to do. Unless you've done that, then chances are you're not going to sell as many as you could if you were a little more selective about the books and other media that you're buying for Amazon. I just want to talk about this because of a couple things. Because of having been in this business now for a little over a year and a half, and having gone through the repricing of the older items and seeing that they actually do sell. A good amount of them do sell if you reprice them but dramatically drop the prices, and that I made a lot of mistakes when I first started. So I don't want to do that again. I want to make sure that my inventory is a good balance, but at the same time leaning more towards items that are going to sell a little bit quicker than ones that sit around, unless I just find great sources for longer tail books and other items that I'm really, really certain are going to sell at some point for the price that I listed them. So I hope this is making sense. I just wanted to touch on this topic, that I'm going to continue to build my inventory, and I still want to, by August, have over 3,000 in inventory. That's a goal of mine. But at the same time, I want a higher percentage of that inventory to be stuff that's going to sell for sure a lot quicker even if the profits are a little bit lower. Not on all of them, but on a bit of a higher percentage of them. Because even though I'm selling a lot of this older stuff now, it's not going for as much profit, and some of it I'm breaking even on and even losing some money. Well, at least making a little bit of money off of it versus disposing of it. But it's not stuff that I'm making $5 to $10 profit. It's more like 50 cents to $1.50 to $2 on most of it, which I'm glad about. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad that I'm able to sell it, period, versus having to dispose of it. But it's too bad that I just didn't know when I started, but that's how you learn. That's why I'm learning and I'm growing, and I'm getting better about sourcing, and also just better about what works for me. Because what I'm talking about now, you might not agree with that. You might want to go more towards long-term or long-tail books. Go for it. Important to find out what works for you, what you're comfortable with, what you like to see on a day-to-day, month-to-month basis in relation to your inventory and the number of sales you're getting, and of course, the average sale price. Because I talk a lot about sales, and I don't necessarily talk about the amount of money I'm trying to make, just because I look at it as, if I get X amount of sales, I'll make X amount of dollars based upon what my average sale price is. But my average sale price went down last month, and it'll probably be down a little bit this month because I'm selling out on all of these books that I had dropped the prices on dramatically. So once I sell out most of that stuff, my ASP or average sale price should go back up a lot, because usually it was closer to about $18 or so for a long time, which is fine. I don't mind it low, dropping, just knowing that I'm getting a lot additional sales to clear out that old inventory and make room for newer stuff that should do a lot better, that shouldn't sit around so long and force me to drop the prices significantly just to get rid of it, just to move it. So let me know what you think, if you agree or disagree, or whatever, if you have a different strategy. I like the idea of streamlining my inventory, and I want to grow that. I mean, I want to have 5,000, 8,000 items in inventory, but I want them to be products that are definitely sell. Other thing it has to do with is how much you can send in. Someone that's able to send in 300 to 500 books a week versus me sending in 200 to 300 a month is clearly going to be able to boost up their inventory really fast and increase their sales numbers on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. If and when I'm able to do that kind of volume, then my inventory will grow significantly. If I'm sending 300 a week, that's 1,200 new items a month. So in 5 months, I will have sent in about 6,000, a little over 6,000 items, and my sales will go up dramatically. So that's fine, sending 1,000 plus a month of items, but if you're selling 600, 700 a month, then that's fine, it works out. So it's a balance, and it's kind of figuring out how this whole deal works and what's the best situation for yourself. Hope you're having a good day listing, shipping, sourcing. I'm finally listing my CDs. As a side note here, I went through them all, downloaded a ton of songs, checked them all, at least checked the ones that I'm going to be sending into FBA, and I'm listing them. I'm already up to about 25 that I've listed, and tonight I'll list a bunch more so that I can get out this CD shipment, because I have some books. I got about 60 or so books sitting around that I need to get out as well. So it's good. It's a good thing to have all this stuff to go through. So let's get out there, get ready for the weekend, and kick some butt on this. As always, remember, keep booking.